Right now, your brain is lying to you. Not occasionally, not when you're stressed. Right now, in this very moment, your mind is constructing a version of reality that never fully existed. And it has been doing this your entire life. The memories you trust the most, partially invented, the decisions you think you made freely, already decided before you were even conscious of them. The version of yourself you believe in, that's actually a story your brain wrote to keep you comfortable. This isn't a metaphor. This is neuroscience. And by the end of this video, you will never look at your own thoughts the same way again. Let me just pause here for a moment. I'm Dr. Maya Patel, a neuroscientist who's spent years studying how our brains shape our experience of reality. And honestly, what I'm about to share with you changed the way I see myself. And I think it'll change the way you see yourself too. Scientists call this phenomenon confabulation, a term first used by the neurologist Sergei Korsakov in the 1800s. Since then, hundreds of controlled studies in cognitive psychology and neuroscience have confirmed the same disturbing truth. The human brain doesn't just remember reality, it rewrites it, constantly, automatically, and convincingly. This isn't a theory. It's been demonstrated in brain scans, court cases, therapy rooms, and psychology labs on every continent. So let's break down exactly how your brain is doing this to you right now. Point 1. Your memories are not recordings. They're reconstructions. Most people think of memory like a video camera. You experience something, it gets recorded. And when you need it, you press play. That is not how memory works. Not even close. Every time you recall a memory, your brain doesn't retrieve a stored file. It rebuilds it from scratch. And every single time you rebuild it, tiny errors creep in. A detail changes. An emotion gets amplified. Something gets quietly deleted. The psychologist Elizabeth Loftus proved this in a now famous experiment. She showed participants footage of a car accident, then asked them, how fast were the cars going when they smashed into each other? Versus, how fast were they going when they contacted each other? Just changing one word in the question caused people to remember the crashes faster, and many began to remember broken glass, even though there was none in the footage. One word. That's all it took to insert a false memory into someone's mind. And they were completely convinced it was real. So, think about your most important memories. How many of them have been rebuilt so many times that the original is long gone? Point 2. The brain fills in gaps with fiction. Your eyes have a blind spot, a small area where the optic nerve connects to the retina, and there are literally no photoreceptors. Nothing is detected there. But you don't walk around with a hole in your vision, do you? That's because your brain invents what should be there based on context and fills it in seamlessly. You never notice the blank. You never question it. Your brain does the exact same thing with memories, conversations, and your understanding of events. When information is missing, it doesn't flag the gap. It quietly invents something plausible, inserts it, and moves on. You experience the completed, fictional version as absolute fact. Scientists call this pattern completion. Your brain is a prediction machine that hates uncertainty more than it hates being wrong. So it fills the blanks with guesses, and then presents those guesses to you as memories. Point 3. The ego edits your past to protect your self-image. So, here's where it gets really uncomfortable. Your brain doesn't just make random errors, it actually makes biased errors. Errors that consistently paint you in a better light. This is called self-serving memory bias. Studies show that people reliably remember their past performance as better than it really was, their past kindness as greater than it was, and their past mistakes as less serious than they actually were. Even when shown objective evidence to the contrary, the brain resists updating the narrative. One study gave people false feedback on a test, telling half the group they scored poorly. When asked to recall how they did weeks later, those participants misremembered their score as being significantly higher than the feedback had indicated. The brain had edited the past to protect the ego. Your autobiography is not a documentary. It's a PR campaign run by your own subconscious. Point 4. You misremember why you made decisions. Think about a major decision you made in the past few years. Maybe a job change, maybe ending a relationship, maybe a purchase you justified extensively. Now ask yourself, are you remembering the real reason you made that choice, or the reason you told yourself afterward? Research in social psychology has shown repeatedly that people often make decisions based on emotion, impulse, or external pressure, and then immediately construct logical explanations that they then believe were the original reasons. Psychologists call this post hoc rationalization. The decision comes first. The story about why you made it comes second. but your brain presents them in reverse order, making you feel like a rational, deliberate person who thought it all through. You didn't make the decision and then tell the story. The decision was made, the story was invented, and you experienced it as reasoning. Point 5. Awareness is the only defense. Here's the difficult truth at the center of all of this. You cannot stop your brain from doing these things. Confabulation isn't a weakness or a character flaw. It's actually how the human brain is built. But you can develop a habit that partially protects you. Radical epistemic humility. That's just a fancy way of saying, get comfortable saying, I might be wrong about this. Start noticing when you feel absolutely certain about a memory. Certainty is often the brain's signal that the confabulation is complete, not that the memory is accurate. The more confident you feel about a recollection, the more reason there is to question it. Keep a journal. Write things down as they happen. Compare your written records to your memories over time. You will be shocked by the gaps. And when someone remembers an event differently than you do, resist the instinct to assume they're wrong. The more uncomfortable possibility, that you're both remembering different invented versions of the same thing, is usually the accurate one. So, here's a little call to action. Your brain is not a camera, it's a storyteller. And like all storytellers, it has an agenda. Now that you know this, here's your challenge. This week, pick one memory you feel completely certain about. A conversation, an event, an argument, whatever stands out. Then ask one other person who was there to tell you how they remember it. Don't argue, just listen. And notice how different two people's versions of the same moment can be. That difference? That's your brain's creative writing department. And it's been working overtime your whole life. If this video made you question something, hit like and subscribe. Because every single week on this channel, we go deeper into the parts of human psychology that most people never talk about. Next video, the dark reason you help other people, and why it has nothing to do with kindness. See you there.